Our final tipping point tonight, are you ready for this? It's this question: when does it become offensive to people with mental illness to have acts of violence blamed on their mental state? There are approximately 57 million mentally ill adults in the United States right now. So what percentage of those people commit heinous acts? Isn't that stereotypical and hateful then, to blame mental illness as the motivator of a knife attack in London when the stigma will sting the millions of innocent, peaceful people who suffer from illness of the mind? This is what liberals would say if they were logically consistent. This is what liberals would say about attackers with mental illness if they proffered the same argument they use for radical Islamist terrorists. Now, I'm not saying the knife attacker in London who stabbed an American woman was a terrorist. I have no idea, yet. But a cursory search of his living quarters, and the London police announced that there were no signs of radicalization. That smacks of political desperation to separate the very real threat of terrorism with the motivator the West, for some reason, won't admit threatens us. That threat is radical Islam. Whether or not the British police discovered the knife attacker was associated with ISIS, or whether he was simply a deranged, bloodthirsty lunatic, that's beside the point. In the past 30 days, between the days of July 5th, 2016 and today, August 5th, 2016, there have been 133 attacks by radical Islamic terrorists in 20 different countries around the world that killed 1,087 people and injured 1,751 others. That equals an average of 36 people killed by radical Islamists each day, every day, for the past month. Why is this acceptable in our modern world? Why do we stand by and allow this to happen? Why do we allow ourselves to live in fear of the next big attack? The next jetliner that's hijacked, the next bus that's blown up, the next child whose throat is slit while she sleeps in her bed at night, the next work party annihilated or fireworks show turned to carnage, cafe turned to slaughterhouse, the next happy nightclub turned into a shrine of sorrow and grief. This is not about offending Muslims. This is not about protecting the feelings of those who, by their silence, are irrelevant to the war within the world of Islam. But if we, whether we're in London, France, Belgium, or here in the United States, if we refuse to tack the face of radical Islam onto the most wanted bulletin board and then hunt them down, then it's over. They win. And that's my final point. Reach me on Twitter at Liz_Wheeler. And if you liked the show, please send me an email at oann.com/contact. And be sure to catch Tipping Point again tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern. And have a good night.